Invincible.
All right, so on our last segment, we discussed whether or not we agreed with the All-NBA teams, who should be on it, who shouldn't be. Now we're going to talk about who should be the voters for the All-NBA teams. And on the following segment, we're going to talk about whether or not the NBA teams should impact the players' wallets. So here to discuss these topics, I'm with Laurent and Mark. So first of all, who should vote for the All-NBA teams?
Can I take this first?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
In my opinion, I think they should spread it out between the GMs, the fans, and then instead of the media, because I just I don't like the way that whole dynamic works. Because you know what I mean. If you're a bad interviewer or you're not very accessible to the media, that could be a knock against you, and I don't like that. So my third thing would be the players themselves. I'd use those three outlets, and then combine the score, and that's what you get. That's my opinion.
I would have it similar to the All-Star game. So like heavily weighted on the GMs, coaches, maybe some media, and then the players. I think players should be 25, and fans should be 25, and then the 50 would be coaches and GMs.
Okay,
that's how
so
I would approach it.
My take is, well, first I want to explain a few things. When the players were allowed to vote for who should make the All-Star team, some players voted for their friends who were retired. They weren't even playing, and they got votes. And some other people were still voting for their friends who clearly wouldn't even make it on the starting lineup, and they voted for the All-Star game. And as for my opinion, I don't think fans should be involved either, because a couple seasons ago, Kobe was injured for pretty much the whole season. He barely played, and he was still voted onto the All-Star team. And Kobe had to tell the fans, do not vote for me. And he refused the spot in the All-Star team. You're going to have those fans. And
the Raptors scandal.
And Russell Westbrook was running away with MVP at the first half of the season, and he wasn't a starter. Because of whom? The fans. Not the coaches, not the GMs. So, and the reason why...
Is this for All-Star team or the All-NBA team?
No, I'm saying, so you want to have those same fans who can't even handle the All-Star team vote for All-NBA teams?
Yeah, it's a popularity contest.
And
you know what I mean with the fans?
The reason why they have the media vote for it is because they want to have unbiased people. What I mean by that is the media really does not benefit if Harden makes it, but Boogie doesn't really. They don't really benefit. Whereas GMs, if you get them involved, let's say I'm the Indiana Pacers. I don't want to pay that extra $75 million to Paul George, so I'm gonna vote against him. Or I want to have the advantage and have the right to give him that more of that money, so I'm gonna vote for him. So you don't want people who have a skin in the game to impact the All-NBA.
Obviously, all this has to be based on honorary system, but even then, the honorary system is always. You can never be truly, respected. Like your example, you just say, "Well, I don't want to sign him for an extra $75 million, so I'll vote against him." There's,
the thing about the media, though. Me and you were talking about this off air. What about beast mode?
Yeah.
What if you've got a guy like beast mode? He doesn't want to talk to you guys. Like, he doesn't want to talk to the media.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. Someone like him would get
I still think the media has a bias as well.
Yes, exactly.
Because in turn, a lot of the fans watch the media, right?
Yeah.
So they're biased towards what the media figureheads think of their. Well,
which is why I think you keep it in house.
Yeah.
Coaches, maybe. I don't mind the coaches.
Coaches,
sure. GMs, players. You do it that
That's
way.
what I mean. Players, I mean all players.
Yeah, not just like
excluding free agency, not just the stars on every team, all players. But then again, that leaves room for bias as well. Like, why wouldn't I just vote for my best player on my team?
Exactly.
But then
fair.
But even then, like,
you'd like to hope that they would take the responsibility on as a fan.
That's what I mean. There's a weight on each scale.
But the players voting, there's actually evidence that they don't follow the rules when they're allowed to vote.
So what's the second topic leading into this?
All right, so next topic, we're going to talk about whether or not the All-NBA teams should have an impact on players' wallets. So basically, the biggest reason why people are mentioning it is because Paul George was left out of all the All-NBA teams, and he's in a position to renegotiate his contract with the Pacers
next year.
And basically your team is allowed to offer more money than any other team, and Indiana would be in a position to offer $75 million more to Paul George if he was on the All-NBA team. But now that he isn't, they can't offer him that money
because of the new rules, right?
I don't know if
new
it's
agreement by the NBAPA.
Yeah, I don't know if it's new, but basically it was agreed by the NBAPA, which I think is ridiculous. First, what do you think?
Well, I think the number's atrocious. Like $75 million extra is nuts. You know, maybe you want to give an extra 5 mil, 10 mil, or maybe none. Yeah. Like really, because certain players, they're always gonna make it. Like LeBron could have a down season. I guarantee you, he's never not gonna be on that. So he's guaranteed that money every time. Yeah. Whereas certain other players have to earn it.
And not only that, the 75 mil is not only is a ridiculous, atrocious number, but it kind of takes away from negotiation process. You should be paid your worth. Regardless, you shouldn't be paid based on like what the other guys make. You know, you should be paid based on what you bring to the team. What can you provide on the offensive, defensive end, and it shouldn't be weighted like that at all. Like you shouldn't be paid automatically 75 mil on top of that. It takes away the whole negotiation process almost.
What I think,
it's like I'm guaranteed 75 mil as long as I make.
Yeah, like why is that weighted so much? Shouldn't it be based off of if you made 303
What if you're like 37 years old? You make that list. I'm not giving you a 37-year-old 75 mil on top.
No, you don't have to. It's just you have the option to giving him more. Indiana doesn't have to give him an extra 75, but they have the option of giving him.
So then it ruins the negotiations in terms of purchasing power. Why have that? Like, why? That's just.
But what I think is,
do they deserve 75 mil even in that case? Not really.
What I think is all NBA teams. It should affect money a little bit, but it should be in terms of bonuses. Bonuses that are outside the cap. Basically, you have a set amount. So if you make first team, you get maybe an extra $5 million in bonuses, not in salary. Therefore, the teams, it's like they can't discuss it in your salary.
But I'm glad you started at 5. Yeah, because let's go 5 million, then maybe 2.5 for second team, and then maybe 1 mil for
or
third.
Bring the bonuses, kick it back to the old days, like the NFL. Ricky Williams, completely incentive based contracts.
You could.
I'm not saying a full contract should be incentive based, but maybe the bonus parts of it. Get the extra. I don't know, 100 3-pointers in a season.
They already have incentives in the NBA too. Yeah. Like if you make the All-Star team, you get a bonus. So why can't that be different? Yeah. Like 75 is just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
No, definitely the price. Yeah,
and also stay tuned for more ridiculousness when we talk about under review overtime. Marc Laurent France out.
That was hard.
Here we go.